Now, shares of Logitech closed sharply lower despite the company's strongest earnings since the pandemic. They slid more than 7%, even though Logitech reported strong sales of its keyboards, headsets, and other computer peripherals. Investors are worried about costs and future demand. Logitech says AI is fueling demand for its products as people look for accessories to try and work with those all-important AI tools. Logitech CEO Hanneke Faber is with us now. Good to see you. Thanks so much, especially as we try and parse exactly what effect AI is going to have on so many companies. I got to say, right, Hanneke, it's a rough crowd out there. There is no pleasing them, but it definitely shows hesitancy about companies like yours and where they are headed in this uncertain AI environment to come. I mean, what do you say to them about that?
Yeah, definitely a lot of volatility in the share price, and we don't obsess about that daily share price because there's so much volatility. What we obsess about is the performance of the business, and we're super proud of this quarter. Operating income at record levels, ex the pandemic peak. Our 8th quarter of top line growth, 6% growth in dollars, 4% in constant currency, and also a record cash quarter. This is a real business that converts operating income to cash, in fact, 1.5 times. So a really good quarter, and we intend to continue to deliver those great quarters. This is a company for all seasons, and AI is a tailwind for us going forward.
You say it's a tailwind, but there is some hesitancy. Now, your company's pedigree suggests you could be a great connection point between users and AI, and yet I feel like your company still hasn't articulated enough what those products could look like, what the opportunities are there, and whether or not you're being very aggressive about that.
Yeah, so in our products, I think what makes us a little different from many others is that we are well beyond the phase of cute experiments or proofs of concepts. We are shipping AI-enabled products around the world at scale. So those are our video and audio products. So if you look at a Sight video conferencing camera, if you look at our Zone 2 wireless headsets with two-way noise cancellation, machine learning and AI enabled. If you look at the Spot sensor, which is a sensor that enables AI, all of those are shipping globally and at scale and are driving some of the good results that you see. And just last week, we announced a new set of AI cameras for video rooms, for video conferencing, for large rooms, auditoriums, boardrooms, etc. So we're well beyond the phase of trying things. We're shipping things at scale. Again, we believe that's definitely part of our growth trajectory going forward.
And in terms of that growth, what products are you excited about that you see coming online in the next year?
Yeah. So what was driving the growth in the 4th quarter were a few exciting new products. The AI-enabled video conferencing. Video conferencing was up 8% in net sales, but also, of course, on our core business, the MX Master 4, which is the new generation of our flagship mouse, $120 premium mouse that is off to the best start of any personal workspace product we've ever launched.
I didn't think we'd have mice anymore. Cool. No mouse, right? What are we thinking here? You think it still has a future then?
Absolutely. Working without a mouse, if you're an advanced user, a software engineer, a finance bro, you are going to be 30% slower and less accurate and less productive without a mouse. So mice are really key. Mice are also ergonomic. If your hand or your arm hurts at all, that's probably because you're only using a trackpad. So we saw 9% growth in mice for the quarter, and I think that's just testament to the the great trajectory that business is on, thanks to innovation.
Now, in terms of weathering some of the more macroeconomic issues here, whether it's the US dollar, other currency changes, tariffs have been a huge one. It's quite a dynamic time. Can you give us a little look-see into what is preoccupying you at the moment? I mean, is it still tariffs?
So tariffs, obviously for us as a very global business with about 30% of our business here in the US, is something we had to face. But again, our team has done a great job offsetting those through cost reductions and through some targeted pricing here in the United States. We delivered record operating income margins and really good gross margins in the 3rd quarter. So Tariffs, I would say, we weathered the storm really well. In terms of the dollar weakening is actually a tailwind because we have such a global business. So 70% of our business is outside of the United States, and that business becomes a bit more valuable. We report in dollars, and that helps our bottom line.
But in terms of the tariffs then to come, it still remains a very unpredictable scenario.
It is, but we are set up really for any scenario. So what we did in the last year, and we committed that in April, is that for US bound products, 40% of our US bound products came from China back last April. We committed to reducing that to 10% by the end of the calendar year. We achieved that by December. Less than 10% of US products were coming from China. And we now have a footprint that is China +5. So we manufacture in 6 countries around the world. That gives us a lot of flexibility for whatever might be thrown our way.
Also sounds like an incredibly complicated company to run. Hanneke Faber, thanks so much. We appreciate you being with us.